Well, good afternoon and welcome to another edition of the Mayor Hull Show. It's my honor and my privilege to host these shows and to highlight guests and activities that are going on throughout Rio Rancho. And this year, in this holiday season, we've got some exciting stuff going on, but today we've invited a special guest, Jay Hart of Parks and Rec, to talk about a really special event that's coming up in December, and that is the Winterfest event, which includes many different features, many different activities. And Jay's here to answer a few questions to make sure that we get all the information so that each and every person that shows up to this event can have the best time possible and experience the most there is to experience out of everything that's going to be there. And trust me, it is action-packed. There's a lot of things planned for this particular Winterfest, and Jay's excited. And with that, I'll bring Jay in. Jay, how you doing today?
Good.
Good. Thanks for joining me today to talk about Winterfest.
Well, thank you for having me on the show. I'm excited to be here.
You know, Parks and Rec is just an amazing part of the quality of life of Rio Rancho. And when you talk about Parks and Rec, most people say, well, you know, it's Haynes Park or one of the other parks or what have you. But really, Parks and Rec is in on some of the major events that go on around the city, one of which is one that I know you enjoy putting on and taking care of, and that is Winterfest.
Absolutely. Yeah, Winterfest is actually one of my favorite special events that we host. And this year it's going to be on December 13th on Saturday. And it's going to start early in the day. We're going to have a lot of activities scheduled for Winterfest. It's going to kick off to Santa Ana Star Center. We've actually been working with the staff over there at Global Spectrum. We're going to put ice down.
Ice?
Yes.
You're going to have ice.
So
can one suppose that there will be ice skating?
One might think that if we were going to put ice down.
I thought we just get out there and slide across
Well,
it.
you could.
Okay.
You could do that. But yes, we're going to actually have open it up for people to ice skate, and that's going to start at noon on December 13th on Saturday. And so from noon to 5, we're going to have ice skating. Now, I almost said it's free to the public, but I do want to qualify that because what we're asking is for the public to bring a non-perishable food item to bring it to the skating event, and that will be their payment for being able to ice skate. And we're also going to be able to supply ice skates. Now, we have worked out a deal with Los Alamos Parks and Recreation. They have a skating rink, and they're actually loaning us their ice skates for this event that we're having, so people will be able to come on. And the sizes are limited, so if people have their own ice skates, they should bring their ice skates. But if they don't, we're going to have a limited number of ice skates for them to actually use.
Well, it sounds like you're thinking a lot of the different processes forward to make sure that people can make the most of this event. But let's go back to the food drive for just a minute. You mentioned to bring a food item to go skating, and that's going to be fun. But tell us a little bit about it, who that food item is for, and we also want to potentially include a food item for another group of citizens here in Rio Rancho, and maybe you could explain that a little bit more too.
Right. So the food items will go to St. Felix Pantry or Storehouse West, so we're working with both of those organizations, and we figure through this effort at Winterfest we can collect a lot of food items, and then they will be able to distribute those food items to needy families during the holidays. So we just thought this was a great opportunity to encourage people to donate some food items to be able to help the less fortunate around the holidays.
Now, aside from non-perishable food items, you were also looking for donations for pets.
Yes. Now, actually, we're running a program for pets and for seniors, which is a little bit different, but through Cabazon Community Center, we have a program where people can donate a gift for seniors.
Okay.
We're working with some of the senior housing organizations here in Rio Rancho, and they've given us a list of items that some of the seniors need.
Okay.
And these are seniors that are on a fixed income and or maybe they don't have any family to share the holidays with. And so what we're doing at Cabazon Community Center is collecting the gifts and then up through December 23rd, and then what we'll be doing is distributing those gifts to the seniors.
Okay, so those are two different events.
Two different
events. But
events.
they can contact Parks and Rec about that.
Parks
So
and Rec.
The skating is a food donation, and then the Cabazon event is for seniors and their pets.
That's correct. Now, along with what we've found out, along with the gift, we're also asking people to donate pet food, so food for cats and dogs. And what we found out through Storehouse West is a lot of times when they receive food, because their pets are so important to them, and they may be their only companion, they'll share their food with their pets. And so what Storehouse West likes to do is actually collect pet food to give to the seniors who have pets and are on a fixed income, and that way they have food for their pets, and then they
That's
can
wonderful.
have food
That's
for them,
wonderful.
too.
It's wonderful. Now, along with the skating, I know there's a few other activities. Now, we won't get to the important activity yet, the important visitor, but we'll talk about some of the activities outside real quick. I understand that there's going to be a parade.
There is, yes.
And some other activities potentially involving balloons and explosives.
That's true. Yes.
Tell us about that.
You know, it's going to be real exciting because, as I mentioned, we have the ice skating going on starting from noon to 5. We also have an arts and craft fair going on at the same time the ice skating is going on at the Santa Ana Star Center, and we have a wonderful list of people who will show up, and you can go in there and view their arts and crafts and actually buy arts and crafts throughout the day. And then at 5:15 is when our parade starts.
Okay.
And I would mention that we are still taking registrations for our parade, so they can call the Parks and Recreation office at 891-5015, 891-5015, and still register for the parade. This is one of our biggest parades.
Okay.
And so, and so you can register for that, and that starts at 5:15. And as you know, we've asked you to be Grand Marshal this year.
I am honored. I am honored. So I've been asked to be Grand Marshal, and as Grand Marshal, I asked Jay Hart, what exactly does Grand Marshal involve? And your answer was?
Well, you lead the parade, actually.
Other than that?
Whatever your imagination can think of.
I can imagine a lot, but
we understand maybe you might have some Christmas lights that you'll be sporting, and
light up the Grand Marshal.
Light up the Grand Marshal.
Okay. I'm not sure that's gonna.
But we know it's a big honor for whoever it is.
Well, and I appreciate that. That's going to be fun, being the Grand Marshal. Now, as we talked about a little while ago, we also mentioned explosives and balloons.
Yes.
Let's not get away from that.
Yes. So, and in combination with the parade, we do have fireworks scheduled.
Fireworks.
Fireworks
Love
scheduled.
fireworks.
Yeah, and they're not like 4th of July. They're not near as long, but I think they're going to be really, really nice. And we are working with some of the hot air balloonists in the area, and we think that we're going to be able to attract some hot air balloonists to put on a Winterfest Glodio along with the fireworks. So that should be quite impressive
So
and fun for
balloons,
people.
possibly, Glodio, possibly, but definitely fireworks. So you're going to want to bring the kids out because, like Jay said, it may not be near as big as the 4th of July fireworks, but Rio Rancho puts off some pretty nice fireworks, and so you're going to want to bring the kids out and see the parade. And I know I'll be out there walking the parade route as the Grand Marshal, and I'll have Baxter, my dog, with me as well, and he loves to walk the parade route with me, and so that'll be fun. But that brings us to a special visitor that we can hopefully expect to see in the parade. Now, when does the special visitor arrive, and can you go ahead and tell us who that special visitor is?
Well, the special visitor will actually arrive at noon.
Noon.
And so they're going to be there from noon to 5, and then they're actually going to be in the parade. So they're going to be at the Santa Ana Star Center while the Arts and Craft Fair is going on and while the ice skating is going on. So typically, maybe you have Mr. Claus showing up, but this year we have Mr. and Mrs. Claus showing up.
Okay, so we have some visitors from the North Pole then.
And visitors from the North
All right,
Pole.
so Mr. and Mrs. Claus will be on hand. Now,
Yeah.
are they going to be set up and allow for photo opportunities?
They are. They
Okay.
are, and so there'll be photo opportunities for the kids, and the kids will want to come and obviously tell Mr. and Mrs. Claus what they want for Christmas. And so they'll be set up at Santa Ana Star Center and through the day, and then they'll be also participating in the parade.
Now the parade, let's talk about that. Is there a theme for the parade?
It is Frozen Christmas.
Frozen Christmas.
Yes.
Okay.
Frozen Christmas.
So I would imagine some floats might
Frozen
have
Holidays, I think.
Frozen Holidays.
Yeah. Yep.
So, for the kids out there, they're probably thinking Frozen the movie, so,
Yeah,
what I mean, but, so we might see Olaf out there, or we might see something like that.
Yeah,
And my granddaughter would love that. She's such a huge fan of that
So
movie.
anything that anything they can imagine that's cold and frigid will be the theme of parade this year.
That's awesome.
Yep.
Cold and frigid. I imagine it will be cold and frigid.
Yes, it is. all the
Any
time.
predictions on, have we checked what the weather's going to look like, or,
It should be nice. It's a little bit far out right now to make projections, but I would encourage people to make sure they dress warm for the parade, because the last few years it's been pretty cold out there. And so, come prepared for cold weather. And, in past years we've even had snow during the parade, and that makes it interesting.
That's great. I love the fact that we're bringing this parade, that it's out at City Center. We're able to really walk the route, and it's a nice atmosphere. Plenty of room for people to set up along the parade route and enjoy the parade. But you said something a minute ago that got my attention, that you're having an arts and crafts show at the Santa Ana Star Center.
Yes.
In conjunction with the skating, in conjunction with Santa Claus and Mrs. Claus.
Yes.
Tell us about that art show, because it sounds interesting, and where that came from.
Mr. Mayor, every year we do a holiday arts and crafts show at Sabana Grande, and this year, matter of fact, it was this past weekend, but this year we had so many vendors, we had to actually put 20 vendors on a waiting list to come and display their goods and sell their goods. And I went by the arts and crafts show, and we just thought, it's always so popular. It attracts so many people, and they have such great things to buy for the holidays, and you can come and you can buy ornaments and decorations for the holidays, or you can buy gifts for people. And so we thought, well, why don't we go ahead and invite them to come out to the Winterfest celebration set up in the Santa Ana Star Center, and have another arts and crafts show. And these are, they're mom and pop people who make things. They're all things that are handmade. Awesome. But they sell these things, and if you haven't been to one of our arts and crafts shows, you got to come out. It's just absolutely wonderful.
Well, I'm glad they're getting an opportunity to show their wares again, especially right before Christmas.
Yes.
Because I've been to some of these arts and crafts shows, and I can tell you some of the stuff that's in these things is very creative. I've seen, pottery and paintings and lighted. Oh my goodness, just every form of creativity. I've seen woodworking, furniture making,
knitted items,
yep. Quilts, quilting.
Yep.
My goodness, just a bonanza of arts and crafts stuff that's available. That once again, you can support a local artist and buy some of their wares, buy some of their goods, and give those away as Christmas gifts, right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
So once again, now I understand also we have some sponsors of this event, some community partners that have stepped out to help us get this event put on and help us make it successful. Tell me a little bit about our sponsors.
Well, Mr. Mayor, as you know, a few years back we made a change. We moved the parade from Southern, which used to be on Southern. We've now moved it out to the City Center area, and it's been well received and well attended out at the City Center area. And one of our sponsors, Sandoval Regional Medical Center, which is the hospital the UNM runs out here at City Center area. Every year they've been very gracious and help fund this celebration, and they give us money, and it goes towards the fireworks and putting the ice down. And they've done it again this year, so we want to thank the Sandoval Regional Medical Center. We also want to thank Global Spectrum, who is our contractor over at Santa Ana Star Center. This wonderful facility that Rio Rancho has.
Yes.
We're so fortunate to have that facility and be able to use it during the holidays. And they've been so gracious to help us put the ice down during the holidays and open up their facility and make it available to us, and provide some donations for this event. So those two sponsors we really want to give a lot of credit to and say thank you to them.
Well, and then we also want to say thank you to the City of Rio Rancho, because, you know, if it wasn't for the city supporting this and the people coming out, and I mean every level, whether it's your department, all the different departments in the city that really work together to make this great event come together. I know your department works tirelessly on this, so I know you're with Parks and Rec, but you're also with the City of Rio Rancho,
Yes.
and I know that you're a big a big part of this event and what makes it success. So I don't want to shortchange that. I want to say personally thank you, because I know this is a big event that that the city looks forward to every year. And so the one thing that I would say is I continue to encourage every resident of Rio Rancho, and even if you're not a resident of Rio Rancho, come on out and enjoy the winter parade. And we certainly appreciate any support that we can get from this event. We want to have a big showing out here. Well, let's see here. I think we're getting pretty close here. I think we're getting pretty close to wrapping up the interview. At this point, I just want to say thank you very much to Jay Hart for coming and telling us all about Winterfest. And once again, that's Saturday, December 13th. That starts at 12 noon. And you're going to be able to ice skate. You're going to be able to meet Santa Claus and Mrs. Claus and get a picture with them. And then later in the evening, you're going to see a parade with fireworks and potentially a balloon glodio. So this is going to be really exciting. So once again, I want to thank you all for watching this show. I want to thank you for taking a moment so that we can tell you about the exciting things that are happening in Rio Rancho. And once again, thank you for viewing the Mayor Hull Show.